We got the beautiful Miss Chicago in the building. Blessings, blessings, Miss Chicago. How you doing this afternoon, yo? We chilling today. We chilling. The panel is open for whoever wants to come up and chop it up with a shorty. All right, but let me start off this joint right. All right, I ain't start this live off right. All right, listen. Let me welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life. Brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. All right, listen. It's an open panel. I'm working on my website. I'm working on my logos right now. So if anybody wishes to come up, chop it up, bring their own topic, y'all more than welcome. All right. It's just another episode of Off My Chest and Into the Mic. All right. A shorty just speaks her mind. We got music, as y'all can see. Music is playing in the playground. Hopefully y'all can hear that shit. All right. We got reggaeton. We got R&B. We're going to be mixing it up a little bit, but I could only play the music they allow me to play. All right. So y'all know, man, that I got a hit for the artists I like. All right. So hopefully y'all enjoy the music. Yes, we're going to have some music in Spanish. All right. Listen, I love me some of my reggaeton. This Puerto Rican mamacita is not going to stop listening to reggaeton. All right. So there's going to be some Spanish music up in this John, but blessings, Miss Chicago. We got Mr. Oates in the building. Blessings, Mr. Oates. How you doing today? You gotta love you some Mr. Oates, man. Listen, if y'all want to check Mr. Oates out, y'all like what Mr. Oates be throwing out there and y'all be receiving what he be throwing, man, y'all can always check him out on the Manos panel on Dish and Dirt. Come get the smoke, Dish and Dirt Uncut. And y'all can also find him on the Instagram. And sometimes he'll pop up here. I put him on Punishment not so long ago. Yeah, Mr. Oates was on Punishment, coming on the panel. All right, off that holy water. All right, off that telesport. Telling the shorty how to run the panel. I'm like, hey, Mr. Oates, calm down. All right, I love you, Mr. Oates, but don't tell me what to do. All right, I'm a Leo. I hold grudges. All right, let me leave Mr. Oates alone. He gonna come up here and cuss me out. But yeah, man, I'm working on this website and I'm trying to get the logos out so y'all gonna see the shirts popping up soon on this John. I think I got a few of them here. I'm just trying to upload all the designs into the website again because I had to redo it. Let me see. Will it show it? All right, this is just an overlay. Oh yeah! We're gonna bring the backpacks out with the quotes. Y'all know that I do poetry, so y'all know some of my poetry might be on that, John. Some of some of my phrases, some of my quotes. All right, might be on these Jones. So yep. All right, we're bringing back the old logos for those of y'all wondering. Yep. So we're bringing back some of the old logos. This was one of the first logos we started off with. And we bringing back, guess what? I'm not just gonna be having poetry, right? On the I'm not just gonna be selling books with poetry. I'm gonna be selling shirts, all right, where the front and the back will be having some of my short poems. All right. So if y'all love poetry, all right, listen, this is something I came up a little while back. I did good, all right, for real. People enjoyed it. I made some shirts with some, with some beautiful poems on it, front and back, sold them Jones. It was a little hit, and I'm gonna bring it back, all right. For those that just want to just like, how can I say, for those that just love certain poems, all right, and don't want to buy books, but y'all want to buy the shirt, y'all can do that shit, all right. Listen, it's a little idea I came up with like a few years back, and I'm bringing it back, all right. Like I told y'all, man, I appreciate those that have been following me for a while. I hate those that have been subscribed and have been with a shorty waiting patiently for her to do the things that she's had to do, man. I had a few obstacles, all right, from my brother and my mom passing away. A lot of things happening for me. I had a car accident. A lot of y'all, man, listen, have been with me through these journeys. All right, I've you know, listen, them obstacles hit me, and y'all seen me overcome these obstacles. All right, and I'm back on my feet now, trying to get with these politicians, trying to get my grassroots project, all right, out there up and running. It's going to take us a little minute, but we back on track with all the stuff that we was doing, a little while back before I got into the accident. And I appreciate those that still on here, right? Whether it's Shorty rocking out, reviews, reactions, conversations, all right? Like y'all rocked out with a Shorty on some real shit. Listen, through 2 pages, all right? Because my first page is gone. So shout out to all those that came from the first page up to my backup channel, all right, and this channel pop, all right, because a lot of y'all listen. If it wasn't for my subscribers and my viewers, all right, I wouldn't have made it this far. So I got to give y'all props, all right. And pretty soon, like I've told y'all, all right, we're gonna be doing the subscriber giveaways and the membership giveaways, all right. So stay tuned to that. I'm not gonna give y'all an exact date because I hate breaking promises. I hate saying I'm gonna do something and I'm not gonna do it. So it's gonna happen little by little, and I appreciate those that are helping the Shorty prosper on some real shit, man. Because y'all have come on this John, had conversations. Y'all could have been elsewhere, but y'all chose to rock out with Shorty, all right? And y'all have helped my channel progress, all right? I have subscribers that want to see a better, me tomorrow instead of, how can I say, making me fall on some real shit. So I appreciate all the subscribers that are loyal, all right, and that are real, and that are not on this bitch trying to pick a side. All right, I appreciate y'all. We got the madam in the building, y'all, man. Make sure y'all go check out the madam, all right? Sheriff Clara is in the building, all right? Great conversations, great topics, all right? And she is funny as hell, all right? So make sure y'all go check him out. I mean, check her out. And that's where you can also check out Mr. Oates sometimes. Even though he be getting on her nerves, yo, it be funny as shit, yo. Mr. Oates is like a little puppy, ain't he? All right, on a panel with Clara on some real shit. Clara is like the madam, all right, on some real shit, the dominatrix madam, the one that be telling motherfuckers like, all right. She like, Mr. Oates, if you don't calm the fuck down, I'm gonna hop you off this month. I'm gonna listen. She be rocket launching Mr. Oates off that joint. I'll be like, what the fuck? Listen, you know what it reminds me of? Like here in Philly when we used to play the yo-yos, right? It's been a while since I played a yo-yo. But the madam be having she be playing yo-yo with Mr. Oates. Get the fuck off my panel. Like, are you ready to talk? Are you ready to have conversation with Mr. Oates? Didn't I just tell you to stay still? It's like, yo, I'm telling you, it be funny as shit, yo. Easy is another one, yo. I'm telling you, she be playing yo-yo with these men. All right, listen, she be walking the dog. That's what it is. That's what that little name for that what is it for that little trick, right? When you did the yo-yo walk dog, yeah, that's what she be doing. Mr. Oates know it. He know it. He love it. You know what Mr. Oates says? He's a masoquista. All right, in Spanish. Oh shit, we got Cutting Edge up in this joint, man. Blessings, Cutting Edge. How you doing? We got Cutthroat Entertainment. My OG is in the building. Big shout out to Cutthroat Entertainment. Make sure y'all go check out Cutthroat Entertainment. Not StreamYard, fucking YouTube. Make this shit so hard, man. So I'm trying to set it on. Oh wait. I didn't ask this little AI piece of shit on the damn website to copy what I'm saying. I don't like y'all little fucking AI got little freaking pieces of press. And you got my computer for little puppy. Yes, Mr. Oates. You be like, listen, you know who Mr. Oates reminds me of? Poppy from Beverly Hills, Chihuahua. That's how he be all up on Madam. Madam be like, get away from me, oh man. He'd be like, but I love you, Clara. I love you, Clara. She gonna pull out the whip the next time. She gonna whoop his ass. Like, she said, go find a twig. I mean, what is it? A switch. Mr. Oates, go find a switch. Madam could whoop your ass. Let me shut up, because Madam gonna kill me, and Mr. Oates gonna come up here and curse me out. What's going around? All right, this John's just fucking. All right.
Señoras
Y señores,
y señores,
bienvenidos
bienvenidos
al party.
al party. Agarran a su pareja
por la cintura
y prepárense, porque lo que viene
quiero más, yo me quedo así. Cama loca, porque yo soy la que mando.
Who the fuck wanna invitate my bitch?
De cuando vamos al
Vamos
mambo,
al
todo
mambo.
está bien.
You still
El ritmo
can't,
me
huh?
está quemando, mientras más te pegas yo te sigo azotando y se siente bien. A mí no me importa lo que muchos digan, si muevo mi cintura de abajo para
That's not
arriba.
my bitch. She killing it, but that's not my. Just trying to. I'll get right back to you. All right. We got SBK in the building. All right. Make sure you go check him out on both his channels. He does two channels, one on his main channel, and one. Oh my god. Shit. Man, he's got two channels. All right. He has a co-host on one, and one he does alone. All right. Make sure y'all go check him out, because on some real shit, yo, listen, great conversations, great topics. All right. He brings a lot of different topics on his panels. All right. It don't matter if he's with his co-host or he's alone or he has a panel full of people. All right. He has conversations, all right, and topics that need to be talked about. So if you have not checked out SBK, all right, in his channels, make sure you do. And listen, man, make sure y'all go cop yourselves some of his merchandise. All right. That lion logo is dope. Damn, okay. I got it now. And shout out to Samuel. He's keeping me through right now. I really want to put on some Dave Slow. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. What the fuck is this? Sound familiar. Oh yeah, Sammy, we ain't stripping right now. When it came to relationships, and I seen all my female friends go through what they went through with the guy, with the guys in their relationships, man, I swear that I wasn't gonna look, and it's crazy, right? Because I didn't look, right? I was told when I was younger, right, that when you search for it, it backfires. All right. When you don't look for it, all right, and it comes in your path, it crosses through your path, it was meant to be. Right. So I always had in the back of my head that if someone was meant for me, all right, they was gonna come, they was gonna cross my path one way or another. We was gonna find out that we was meant for each other. And what's crazy is, right, that's how I ended up with my baby pops, my fiance today. All right. Because the first father of my kids passed away. That was my first fiance. And this man walked into my life and we was friends for years. And then boom, he got on his knees and he said, hey, can I, you want to marry me? So it's crazy how love works, right? Sometimes you got that shit right in front of you and you don't even realize that. For real, for real. Some people be out here years, all right, eternity, trying to search for some real love. And sometimes that real love that they've been out here trying to search and seek was in front of their face the whole time and they never knew. He'll do what a lot of these male singers won't do, all right? He don't just talk about relationships and stuff like that. He also talks about men's mental health in a lot of his songs. And it's time to start really, bringing awareness to that. All right, we bring awareness to women's mental health and kids' mental health. All right, we know the causes of why women go through the mental health. All right, that why we suffer from the things that we suffer, the trauma that we have in life. But when it comes to men, all right, the history of men's mental health lingers in the shadows. All right, and then we start asking questions: what's wrong with them? What's going on? But for a good period of time, nobody cared. Right? It's time, right? Like, I understand that, at one point in time, men were assholes, right? Like, some women want to say, all right, I'm saying it for a reason. I'm speaking in general. If the shoe fits, wear that bitch. And if it doesn't apply, hey, let that shit fly. All right. But, according to people, well, back then, which is true. Yeah. That's why, women fought. That's why I love Shirley Chisholm so much. All right. The first Black woman Congress. I speak a lot about her, from time to time because, they want to say that the congresswomen, that the leaders that we got now, all right, in our society got so much power, right? And in reality, I don't see them showing strength, all right? I really don't see them as a leader for our young ladies at all. All right, some of these mothers that should be leading homes, all right, in their own homes, I don't see them as role models for the young ladies at all. Why do y'all think some of these, the same way when, the same way with the men, same shit with the women. All right. They was kids at one point, they turn into young ladies. All right, then they turn into women. Same thing happened with the men. They're little boys, they turn into young adults, then they turn into men. All right. And it's really more up to the upbringing. But don't forget, once you reach a certain age, right, from right and wrong. But if a kid can't, if a young adult can't determine, how can I say, determine right and wrong, right? At the age they are after 13 or older, right? There's something wasn't instilled in that child. And I know a lot of people's going to say, get mad for what I'm saying, but it's the facts, right? Something happened in the upbringing. Some type of trauma, all right, happened that this man is acting the way that he is, as a grown man. And so is the women, all right? And the issue is that a lot of them have not matured sexually, emotionally, all right, and mentally. And let's not forget spiritually. Right? Like, and then we live on an era, all right, where we jump into relationships so fast. All right, we don't create a bond, we don't get to know each other. You see where I'm coming from? We were just speaking about this on one of the lives that we did not so long ago. Both men and women do it. It's the crazy part. I gotta look in this joint. Hold on, wait a minute. Whose birthday is it? And I hope you had a oh, happy birthday, and yo, I didn't. Oh, hold up, wait a minute. We gotta play this song. All right, happy birthday. I'm not sure if I'm late. All right, and if I am, happy late birthday. All right, listen. Oh, whoa. What is you doing? Oh, we're about to play my song right now, real quick. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold. Let me put my music on pause for a sec. Whoa, what the fuck is this? Oh, okay, here we go. Rachel, what's up with you? You got a potty mouth today. What's up? I gotta see what this is about. And she'll get just like in Chicago. She'll turn into Scorpion. Get over here! Fuck, I tell you. What the fuck you think? Go ahead and try me. And that's another one. Go ahead and try me. All right. That's another one of Dave's Lows. All right. Shout out to, shout out to Ann. Happy birthday. Hope you enjoy your birthday and many more, man. So shout out to
Bubbly. I fell out in a White House. I feel like Hillary. Dear president, got me shivering. Don't you bother me. Watch how you talk.
Detroit in the house.
My job here is to take care of the animals. My job at home is to take care of my family.
Tell me which one of these female rap artists can top things right now? None. All right, none. Unless Miss Elliott came out, I mean Miss Elliott, Queen Latifah, Foxy Brown, any of them, then I can say Dej Loaf got some competition. But right now, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, what is it called? Hot Spice, Ice Spice, whatever her fucking name is, they ain't got shit on Dej Loaf. Telling you. Oh, yo, listen, man. Cardi B ain't got shit on Dej Loaf. I'm telling you. Ain't no Cardi B, ain't no Nicki Minaj, ain't none of them got shit on my girl. Realizes that sometimes we do need to break these chains, all right? The behavior that y'all see some of these people, right, experience, right? How can I say? Show, right? Out here on the communities that are considered poverty, right? The hood, right? Is nothing but, passed down behavior. And what's crazy is, right, I always love Maya Angelou for this, right? Because she always had that quote, right? That one phrase, once you know better, you do better. All right. So why is it that we've made it to 2025 and so many people know better, but yet they choose not to do better? All right. So many people are adding links to the chains, right? On some real shit. But hey, I guess people can't take a minute to look in the mirror, right? Listen, you got to take a minute, look in the mirror, right? And when you see that person staring back at you, ask that person. No, my bad. Ask yourself, right? What do you see? Do you see, a puppet with strings attached or a soul that's free? And me personally, at one point in time, I saw a puppet with strings attached. All right. And I had to work, all right, my ass off in order to become a soul that's free. Now, when I look in that mirror, all right, I don't hate the person staring back at me. I don't hate the words that are coming back at me. I could actually walk a mile in my own shoes. There was a point in time I didn't want to wear my shoes. I ran. But I had to learn that I had to face my freaking demons and wear that fucking battle crown on straight. Real shit. She got, Dej Loaf be having some dope shit, man. She is so underrated, and I don't know why, man. She need to be up there. But, man, she's not willing to sell her soul. She's not willing to sell her soul, man. All right, guys, listen. We're about to get into some poetry, all right? We're going to do some poetry, all right? Like I said, the panel is open for anybody that wants to come and chop it up. I'm still naming, I'm still, trying to put titles on these poems, all right? So I am going to read them in order the way I have them, but they're nameless poems right now. All right, so listen. I write these poems to inspire and motivate other people. All right. And the way I write these poems, right, is because I get inspired by the stories of others. So listen, if you're going through something, all right, if you're feeling something, like in this poem fits you, then it's for you. You see where I'm coming from? This is why I love writing poetry. All right. Because when I read it, all right, it could be, sitting here and I don't know who needs it. You see where I'm coming from? That person that listens to it and it makes their day, then it was meant for that person. Oh, why you took me out? Don't play me like that. All right. So before we do, all right, let me put my little intro. All right. We did a little hour of music and me, just talking and stuff like that. All right. I still ain't even get to, off my chest and into the mic. I don't know if we're going to make it to that, but hey, look, listen, somebody might need to hear this. All right. And if y'all know me, y'all know that, listen, I don't mind the clicks and views. All right. But my thing is, right, I come on here, all right, to bring awareness. And maybe somebody needs to hear what I have to say through this poetry. HP, baby. Listen, man. Welcome to Philly, baby. All right, y'all, listen. It's going to be the first poem I read right here. I don't know who needs to hear this, all right? But I've been working on my little poem book. I'm almost done. I got 2 pages left to fill this one out. All right, listen. Um, Shout out to all those. All right, I appreciate those that went to Amazon and actually purchased a Shorty's book. All right, so shout out to all of you. All right, listen, make sure y'all go check us out on Amazon. Writers for Life, the way a Shorty, views the world. Um, our poetry is on there. I'm about to publish the second and third book. All right. I was working on publishing the second one, but since I finished the third one, all right, we're doing this one. I got a few more, but shit, I really like the poems in this book, so I'm definitely about to publish these. All right. Shout out to all those that come on social media, whether it's here, YouTube, TikTok. All right, and what background? Hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. All right, I watched Conjuring last night. I ain't even done watching The Conjuring. All right, listen, hold up, OG. You got a Shorty over here tripping like I'm tweaking. Like, wait a minute, all right? I don't even hit the line, and you got a Shorty tweaking over here. Like, hold the fuck up. What you see in my background? Like, hold up, wait a minute. Mama, is that you? Mami, me viniste a visitar, ¿tú quieres café? Abuelito, ¿quieres café? Like, which one of y'all? Like, hold up, wait a minute. My audience says they see a spirit behind me. All right, I'm just trying to figure it out. Is it you, mama? Or is it you, abuelito? Like, what's up? Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Don't watch The Conjuring before you go to bed. I'm dead. Like, hold up. Wait, he had me looking in the screen like, wait, you see somebody behind me? Hold up. Wait a minute. Lord have mercy. Oh, shit. It's time to smoke. Wait, that's the problem. All right. Ain't enough Mary Jane in me. Baby daddy, I need some Jack Daniels. All right. They got me over here skitzing. I'm over here trying to figure out if it's my mama or my abuelito in the background. OMG, yo, wait a minute, cutthroat. Got me over here in the spiritual world. Hold up. Hey, let me read. Hold up. In the old days, love was pure and true. Now it's just a show for all to view. People use it for their own gain, leaving hard up the ladder is your way down. Trust me. In a world of empty stares, fake love fills the air. Sincerity's distant glare, leaving hearts in deep despair. Truth is lost in a web of lies, hiding behind deceitful eyes. Love that fades and slowly dies, leaving us with heavy sighs. Aching souls in a loveless land, yearning for a genuine hand, but fake love rules with cruel demand, leaving us to understand. In this age of like and retweets, we've forgotten what real love truly means. It's not just about show and tell, but a feeling that makes our hearts swell. It's hard to know who's true and who's fake in a world where appearances are hard to shake. But real love is deeper than a profile pic. It's in the way that someone makes your soul click. So let's not get lost in the digital haze. Let's remember what real love truly conveys. It's not about followers or online fame, but a connection that sets our hearts aflame. In this world of make-believe, they all wear a smile. But behind the scenes, it's just the clever guys, puppets in their show, dancing in their stage. We're all just pieces of their charade. Beneath their mask of joy lies the tangled web, where secrets and deceits are carefully bred. Their lovey-dovey act is just for display. We're all caught up in their twisted play. So let's break free from this illusion so grand and see through the facade with hearts unplanned. No, in the shadows we see a love so pure and meek. But all that's left is a ghostly echo, a memory bleak. Longing for a bond that's true in this world so cold and weak. Yearning for the love we knew before the all turned into teeth. Lost in illusions of affection, bleeding like the mist. Hollow hearts yearn for connection, any realm dismissed. Seeking solace in echoes of the past where love truly exists. But all we find are mere reflections of what loved ones kissed. Amidst the ruins of our hearts, we search for something real. Yet all we grasp are faded echoes of what used to appeal. In this world where love has become just a commodity to steal. It's just a little food for thought.
Once a star in the court, now seeking peace. But the world only sees fame, not the man beneath. Kwame Brown just wants a normal life, yet his past falls causing strife. Media scrutiny, public eyes, never let him escape the ties. Yearning for understanding and empathy, but all they see is this celebrity. A man with dreams beyond the spotlight's glare, just hoping for some compassion to share. Kwame Brown seeks to break free from his past, to be seen as a person at last. Judge Joe Brown, he's not a joke. In the courtroom, he lays down the law with a poke. Wearing his robe, he's a sight to see. 10 toes down, he's as tough as can be. No holding back, he'll tell you straight. Don't mess with him, or it'll be your fate. He's not afraid to speak his mind, challenging those above. He's one of a kind. So watch out when Judge Joe Brown's in town. He's not playing games, he'll shut you down. Two brothers on the panel, so wise and so bright. One full of questions, the other with insight. The elder with wisdom, fighting the system with might. Brown boys bringing awareness, shining so bright. Knowledge and the answers they share with such grace. Tackling the issues in this crazy rat race. Their words are like music, a sweet embrace. So let's listen closely to what they have to say, for their words are like gold, shining bright as day. The Brown boys are here to show us the way. Let's follow their lead and make the world okay. So here's to the brothers so great and so true. Thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you. Keep spreading your message like morning dew. The world needs more like you, that much is true. Judge Joe Brown speaking truth. Kamala Harris under the roof. No president for us, that's the real booth. Raw and uncut, hear him speak. Keeping it real, no critique. For we the people, a leader they seek. Shorty has no power, truth we must speak. Ready to hear Judge Joe Brown's take about Kamala Harris, no mistake. Unveiling the lies for our sake. No president yet, for our nation's sake.
Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm dealing with my kids real quick, so give me 1 second, all right? I'll be right back.
Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand the whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We didn't go over that, but anyway, so.
In this world of blame and shame, we point fingers, we play the game. But as our children cry in fear, we turn the blind eye, we shed no tears. Believe our women, they say, while our kids are led astray. Lost in darkness, lost in pain, yet their cries fall silent like the rain. It's a shame how far we've come, blaming all the men playing dumb. But our children need us near, to wipe their tears and calm their fears. In this land of the free, water's the commodity for you and me. Can't you see? It's not fair, it's plain to see. People struggling to pay for something they need every day. In America where we say we're free, but water shouldn't come at a fee. A Shorty just speaking in general about the things that seem so small. This ain't meant towards everyone, just a cry in the dark. In America where water is marked. Brothers and sisters, hear my plea. This is not about you or me. Our kids are the future, they hold the key. Wake up before we're met with defeat. In this world of chaos and strife, we must guide them to a better life. Teach them love, compassion, and light, so they can lead us out of this endless night. Let's unite as one strong force. For our children, let's stay on course. Together we can make a change and secure a better future in exchange. Y'all should have listened the first time they let the cat out the hat. Now it's a crime. Many are falling into a trap, thinking it's a game, but they full of cap. Some are ready and fully strapped, while others keep falling into the gap. The warning signs were clear as day, but some chose not to heed what they say. Now the consequences come to light. Those who ignored are in for a fight. Listen close and learn from this mishap. Don't be caught unaware, don't fall into the trap. From the wisdom of my elders, I learned women are strong, independent, and firm. But sometimes we need a helping hand to conquer challenges and make a stand. Independence is crucial, that's true. Yet together, with a man, we can pursue. Respect yourself first and foremost, so others will treat you like the most. Ladies, growing up, remember this advice. You're capable of anything you devise. But partnership and respect go hand in hand. Embrace your strength and make a stand. Memories of the past I couldn't see, now I understand. The wisdom they gave me, respect yourself first, that's the key. To earn respect from others is how it should be. A man's worth measured by how he treats his queen. Love and romance in the air, a beautiful scene. A woman's power to uplift or demean. In her hands lies a man's dream. Lessons learned from an OG so true. In matters of the heart, they know what to do. Love and respect intertwined like glue. In a world where old-fashioned values still ring through. Peter Pan, Peter Pan, Peter Pan was a fairy tale. Now males want to be females without fail. Women want to be a man, it's a twisted tale. Flipping scripts and roles, they set sail. Fighting for roles, turning to moles. Making hits with their agenda goals. Targeting our kids, it takes a toll. To them it's a bliss, to us it's a black hole. They ain't trying to miss. Their agenda is the ultimate twist. Infiltrating young minds with their list. But we won't let them persist. I'm with women's rights, but what about men's too? Equality for all, it's long overdue. We want progress, we need to see both sides. Blame and shame won't help us unite. Don't label him a deadbeat without looking in the mirror. Sometimes it takes two to create rupture. Let's have conversations that include everyone. Empathy and understanding, the battles can be won. Men face struggles too, let's not forget. Their mental health matters, let's not neglect. It's time to break down walls and build bridges instead. Together we can strive for equality ahead. You scream for the police every time he come around. Then scream child support abuse, playing victim in this town. Enjoy that check, boo, but remember what goes up must come down. The only time he's worthy is when he bails you out the mess you found. You play the game, manipulating hearts without a doubt, but karma's knocking at your door, there's no way out. You point fingers and shift the blame around, but in the end, it's your own chaos that you found. You dance with danger, living on the edge of lies, but the truth will catch up to you, no more disguise. The man you rely on to clean up your mess is so profound, will soon see through your facade and leave you astounded. Using a child as a weapon, it's a shame. A woman who lacks self-respect, I can't acclaim. Real men fighting for what they believe in, never in vain. Standing 10 toes down, bringing awareness to the pain. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself, not by tearing others down for personal wealth. Real men don't back down, they fight with honor and stealth against injustice and falsehoods that threaten our health. Let's uplift each other instead of tearing apart, supporting one another from the start. Real men stand tall with courage in their heart, fighting for justice and truth, playing their part. Here's for the men who share their truth, never afraid to stand tall in their boots, respecting our women, fighting for what's right, supporting our kids day and night. Real women out there blazing trails, men by their side never looking pale. Rights for all, let's keep the balance true. Men have a voice, let's listen to. In this crazy world where battles are fought, let's remember the men who give it all they've got. Respect to those who speak their stories loud. Together we stand strong and proud. Together we stand, united we'll rise, setting an example for young eyes. In every step we take, in every plan, guiding the next generation's hand. Leading by actions, not just by words, teaching them to fly like birds. Showing love and respect in all we do, for they're always watching, taking cues. Hand in hand, let's pave the way for a better tomorrow, starting today. Our children learn from what they see. Let's show them how great they can be. Let's be what our children need. Never in my life did I think that I would see so many disrespectful elders like on this app. How can you respect an older woman who pretends to be nice, but she's just fronting, claims to be a queen, but she's just chasing men, bashing them all for a bag? Where's the respect then? You claim to be a victim, but on this app taking 15 inches, what a trap. You say you're a survivor, oh my, I'm lost. Where have I been? This old lady's a call. Excellence you claim to be, but all I see is insecurity. You don't know how to love yourself, reflecting on others, your pain and wealth. You talk a big game, but you're just a mess, chasing after men, causing distress. You say you a queen, but you're just a fraud, using others for your own facade. What a lost cause. You bash men, but you know better, playing the victim, but you're the predator, taking what you want without a care, but deep down you're just scared. Excellence you claim to be, but all I see is insecurity. You don't know how to love yourself, reflecting on others, your pain and wealth. You may think you're strong, but you're weak inside, using others to fill the void you hide. But true strength comes within, not from chasing men or committing sin. Excellence you claim to be, but all I see is insecurity. You don't know how to love yourself, reflecting on others, your pain and wealth. So take a look in the mirror, old lady, and see the truth that lies within. You can't find happiness in others, others. You must learn to love yourself to truly win. Out in the garden we have a snake. Take your time to observe before you make a mistake. This old lady with a smile may make you believe she's a victim, but beware, she will deceive. Don't be fooled, she's really Lilith in disguise, giving out fruit baskets to hide the lies. Behind the facade, she takes food from people's mouths. What a scam, claiming to fight for men's rights in her house. On this app, bashing men with her lies, wanting people to defend her because of her age. Oh my, how do we step up for an older woman so sly, looking for the mess she gets in? Oh why? Speaking on the deaths of someone's loved one because they didn't pick her side. She's undone, mad at the world. A celebrity wants nothing to do with her, twerking for the world to see. Lacking in respect, it's a blur. No respect, lacking in morals. She keeps on twerking for the world to see. Her behavior is irking. An old lady on this platform crossing this earth, but we see through her facade she's just a blur. So beware of the snake in the garden with a smile that hides the lies she partners. Don't be fooled by her act of innocence. She's just a deceiver lacking in sense. Out on Jamaica Street there's an old lady who can't accept her age. It's shady, promoting her kitty cat like it's young, but we all know it's full of spider webs, stung. She's on this app trying to catfish men while bashing women. Oh, when will it end? I suggest this lady do her research. She lacks history, her behavior's a birch. She believes is believe all woman. Oh my, using that to play victim. Oh why? Stuck in an era when dinosaurs roam. She needs to wake up, stop being so bloomed. So let's all laugh at this lady so bold, thinking she's young, but she's just old. Her kitty cat may not be the best, but hey, at least she's trying to impress. Out in Jamaica Street, a wannabe Jamaican mad at a celebrity, placing all the blame, saying we're the reason he don't like her, forgetting to look in the mirror. What a blur. Blaming the world for all his woes, living in shame, insecurity shows. Ego too big, can't let go of the past, hurting all in her path. What a blast. Demanding respect because of her age, forgetting it's earned, not just a wage. Reflecting her pain, holding on to the pride, but in reality she's just taking us for a ride. So next time you see her, just give her a smile, for she's living in the world of denial. Let her be with her insecurities and all, and remember, respect is not just a call. This one's for the older ladies demanding respect like they're the greatest, but respect is earned, not given freely. If you lack morals, honor, and integrity, y'all expect us to bow down, treat you like queens with the crown. But sorry to bust your bubble, y'all not even highnesses, y'all just trouble, spreading toxic waste in the air like a virus without a care. Y'all want us to see you as excellence, but y'all just a minus, not even relevant. You think you're the leader of the pack, but really you're just holding us back. The younger generation will rise while you continue with your lies. So take a step back and reflect on the way you treat and neglect. Respect is a two-way street. Earn it, don't demand it, or you won't be on your feet. Prayers out for our real men doing what they gotta do. While on this app we have men of age acting worse than our kids do, demanding respect by acting a fool, saying they're the alphas running the pack, but in reality they're on their knees. Couldn't run the trap, now they're just a tease. So here's a shout out to the real men out there who handle their business without care, while the fake alphas talk a big game, but in the end they're all just the same. So keep doing you, real men of the world, and let the fake ones continue to twirl in their own little fantasy land, while the real men rise and take a stand. Prayers out for our real men, may they always shine bright and leave the fake alphas in their own little plight. There once was an ex-cop so old who laid icy tears so cold. He loved the little old lady in the garden, together they played victim begging pardon. Mad at a celebrity who didn't care, they protected predators, it wasn't fair. He agreed and took sides with a man in his 40s who admitted to doing inappropriate deeds with a minor. Oh please, oh how do we respect such a man who hurts our angels? It's not the plan. Lost and confused, he needs a hand to find his cucumber, oh so grand. Maybe gardening will teach him so well to be a man and stop the spell. Speaking on woman who didn't bother him, let's help him find his way with a grin. Give him something to tell. In the real world, street justice will be swift for predators to prey on the innocent gift. But on this app, it's a different tale, where predators hide behind the digital veil. Men and women admit to their inappropriate deeds. With minors, they praise and protect their misdeeds. While warriors fight to protect our angels online, predators lurk, waiting for their next vile crime. To all the warriors, keep standing tall, protecting our kids, never letting them fall. Let's watch over our children with care and show the predators we won't let them dare. Just try. trials. So keep fighting for our kids' rights and keep them safe from the online frights. Let's show these predators they have no respect and keep our children safe from their neglect. Older folks with no dignity demanding respect with no humility, thinking they're the bee's knees, but really they're just a bunch of sillies. Bishops preaching from the Bible, but acting like they're in denial. Talking to young men like they're in jail, ignoring coffins in their tail. Grown men gossiping about the dead, forgetting every action has a thread. Demanding respect without honor, thinking they're untouchable online, what a goner. But little do they know, their antics will show. No matter where they hide, their true colors will be spilled. The older men I admire carry themselves with grace. They know who they are and where they're going in this race. They won't bash women, they know when to walk away and when to stand and fight. They show us a better way. Not every battle is meant to be won. They've earned respect with honor, while on this app some older men seek attention, causing drama, arguing with women, bouncing on rainbows it seems. How can we respect that and keep our dreams? Let's learn from the wise and carry ourselves with pride, respecting others, showing love and letting our true selves shine bright. I don't know why men come online and be messy, but women do it too, so let's not get testy. These older folks run plays trying to deceive, but when we catch on, they play the victim. Can you believe? How can we respect those who bully and bash? They turn around and act like they're the ones with the stash. Demanding respect because of their age, forgetting respect has no numbers, it's not a cage. So where do we go from here? I'm at a loss, standing up and fighting back no matter the cause. We won't be pushed around, we won't be swayed. Respect is earned, don't demand it, that's how we'll stay. So let's not be fooled by the games and their lies. We'll stand tall and strong with truth on our side. No more playing the victim, no more meek. We'll rise above with dignity and speak. For in this online world where things can get messy, we'll hold our heads high and always stay classy. Respect is a two-way street, it goes both ways. Oh, these older folks online, I just can't seem to find any respect for them in my mind. They act like freaks, creeps, and predators all the time. I'll stick to my real elders who carry themselves with grace, not those who make me shudder with their online disgrace. I'll look up to those who deserve it, not those who act like fools. I'll keep my distance from the perverts and stick to the golden rules. So to the older men and women online, I'll just say no thanks. I'll keep my respect for those who shine and leave the rest to their pranks. For my real elders, I'll always hold dear, and to the others, I'll just stay clear. I'll keep my distance, have no fear, and let them carry on with their freak show. So here's to respecting our true elders and leaving the rest in the past. I'll keep my distance from the online swindlers and keep my respect for those I trust. I cannot believe, never in my life did I think that I would lose respect for so many elders like on this app.
Yeah, we all got dreams, but we stuck in the grind. Looking back at the past, but it's time to unwind. Everyone can do it, just gotta take that step. Stop dwelling on the losses, let's rewrite the rep. Hating on the president, calling him corrupt. But let me break it down, we gotta interrupt. Law's been in place, he's just playing the game. Ain't about the man, it's about the... Let's focus on the future, let the love be our guide. From the streets to the halls, let's make change. Break the chains of the past, let's rearrange. Yo, you know. So how do we move forward? Let's add something new. Together we can rise. Yeah, that's what we do. Don't get stuck in the past. Let the hate fall away. Bro, don't let this digital world, flatline. It's just a little food for thought. Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, or we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. but we rise like the phoenix. We ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people. We're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system. We're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise. Let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. He lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears. But the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that run so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood. But deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share it all. We got hate in our hearts, but we keep concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They said love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the system's grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of injustice greed, against the odds we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They try to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered elites. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite. It's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They build the walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the walls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all the rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through, leaving wounds that always grew. They painted pictures of success, but couldn't fix what's left a mess. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. To remember this moment, remember this face, remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and you'll not. Do you know I believed everything you ever said to me? First man I ever put my shield down for. Look at how you played me. Give you my heart for what? I told you it's not that easy to tame me. Give you my heart for what? I don't want no one to entertain me. Give you my heart for what? When you already sacrifice is what I hear you tell me. Sometimes I feel like you don't even know me. Lord, please help me. The situation is really starting to annoy me. Tell me what we do now. Looking for something where there's nothing, I don't want to argue anymore. Living with the illusion that one day you'll love me the same way that I do, but I'm just a game to you. You're looking for vengeance in me while I'm dreaming of a future for us. I don't know what to do anymore. Sacrifice is what I hear you tell me. Shoot, I don't even want to see you anymore. They say that from love we cannot escape, so why lie to each other? I don't even feel you anymore. I know they already tore your heart apart. I gave you my heart and you watched it bleed. They tore you into pieces. I just want you to know that that wasn't me. They hurt you and that messed you up. But tell me, why do I have to pay the consequences? Maybe you love someone that you shouldn't have loved. You made a fatal decision. Tell me, why do I have to pay the consequences? Maybe they played you. They didn't really love you. It was probably an adventure. Nothing more than just a game to them. They never really gave you a chance. I just really had to pay the consequences. Damn, I would have never thought we made it this far. I'm sitting here thinking, you thinking that you love me. We wanted to believe you. It all felt so real what we were living. Even though in our hearts we didn't mean it. God, damn, we're in so deep. Do you know I believed everything you ever said to me? First person I ever put my shield down for, and look at how you played me. Give you my heart for what? I told you it's not that easy to tame me. Give you my heart for what? I don't want no one to entertain me. Give you my heart for what? When you already blame me. Sacrifice is what I hear you tell me. Sometimes I feel like you don't even know me. Lord help me. This situation is really starting to annoy me. Life in the shadow of my dreams, I was. Do you know I believed everything you ever said to me? First man I ever put my shield down for. Look at how you played me. Give you my heart for what? I told you it's not that easy to tame me. Yeah, we living in a world where the rules don't apply. They say we gotta follow, but we ready to fly. System got us boxed in, trying to keep us small. But we rise like the phoenix, we ain't scared to brawl. They feeding us lies, but we see through the smoke. We're the voice of the people, we're ready to provoke. They want us to divide, but we're stronger as one. Breaking chains, taking names, yeah, we getting it done. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. Fist in the air, yeah, we taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. In the world of division, they showed us how to share. But the weight of our sorrows, they never taught us to bear. We split our joys and laughter, but the pain remained untold. A burden we carry alone, a story left untold. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. He lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy pain. We learned to divide our dreams and multiply our fears. But the ache in our hearts only grew with passing years. They gave us all the answers, except how to heal. The scars that burn so deep, wounds that time can't seal. Yeah, they taught us how to share, but only the good. Smiles and laughter like we understood. But deep down inside, there's a storm we hide. Pain in our hearts, we're just trying to ride. Put on a mask, yeah, we play the part, but nobody sees the cracks in the hearts. We share our dreams, the highs and the lows, but when it comes to hurt, we just close the doors. We share the fun times, deflect the pain, laughing in the sunshine, dancing in the rain. But the shadows linger, they creep and they crawl, breaking us down, but we don't share it all. We got hate in our hearts, but we get concealed. Taught to share the joy, but wounds, they stay unhealed. They say love was easy to divide, but the heartache never subsides. We tried to split everything into two, but the pain lingers strong and true. Shared our dreams, divided our fears, but the sorrow remained through the years. No matter how we tried to let go, the weight of our suffering continued to grow. Now we're apart trying to heal, but some wounds are too deep to conceal. They said splitting up will set us free, yet the pain lingers in you and me. In a world where rules are set in stone, the sisters grip tightens, we're not alone. Bound by chains of injustice greed, against the odds, we fight to be free. Mighty forces try to keep us down, but our spirits rise, refusing to drown. Defying norms, breaking through the mold. In this battle of wills, our story is told. As the clash continues day by day, we stand united, come what may. For in this world where rules don't apply, our strength and unity will never die. They tried to silence our dreams, but we're loud and clear. With every step forward, conquering fear. They can't hold us back. We're the fire and the flame in this battle for freedom. We're all in the game. They say it's just a game, but we're playing for keeps. With the strength of the many, we're shattered elites. No more puppets on strings, we're cutting the ties. With our eyes on the prize, we're reaching for the skies. So let's stand together, let's break down the walls. In this fight for our future, we'll answer the calls. From the ashes, we'll rise like a storm. Riders ignite, it's us versus the system, and we're ready to fight. They build the walls, but we're digging tunnels. With every step we take, we're shaking the bundles. From the streets to the courts, we're raising our voice. In a world full of noise, we're making the choice. They want to keep us blind, but we see the light. Knowledge is power, and we're ready to fight. From the corners of the city to the halls of the state, where the heartbeat of the struggle can't afford to wait. It's us versus the system, we're breaking the mold. It's in the air, yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise, let them know we're here. Riders ignite. They taught us to split everything, but not the heavy pain. It lingers in the shadows, a darkness we can't explain. We're left with shattered pieces, trying to mend what's lost. They taught us how to split everything, but not the heavy cost. Now we stand here broken, searching for some light, hoping for a way out of this never-ending night. But through it all, we find strength in each other's embrace. Together we'll face tomorrow and find solace in this space. They say don't bring the drama, keep it all light. But every night I'm fighting these demons in sight. Whispers in my mind, yeah, they echo when they shout. While I'm smiling on the surface, I'm breaking without. We're sharing the laughter, but what's underneath? A battlefield of sorrow, a war with no peace. We're warriors in silence, but nobody knows how the pain that we carry just grows and it grows. In a world of lessons learned, they taught us how to stand and burn. But the scars we hide deep inside are the ones that never subside. We followed all the rules they made, but the emptiness never fades. Their wounds like knives, cutting through even wounds that always grew. They painted
Mr. Open here.
and fix what's left from us. Now we're left to bear the strain of the pain that lingers, never wanes. It's us versus the system. We're breaking the mold. It's in the air. Yeah, we're taking control. No more silence, no more fear. Together we rise. Let them know we're here. Riders ignite. To remember this moment. Remember this space. Remember this sound. We're the voice of the future, and we won't back down. In the face of oppression, we'll stand up tall. It's us versus the system, and united we'll fall. Riders show how we ignite.
All right, y'all, listen, man. Grab all the toxicity, grab all the toxic people, right? Throw them out the window, right? Kobe them into a trash can and forget about them like yesterday's newspaper, because that's what they is. Irrelevant. All right, so let's get this John started. All right, listen, I got kidnapped by the same little tiny people that I created. So these little tiny humans came while I was doing my live a little minute ago. All right, and they kidnapped me. They was hungry. All right, they got done school. So I had to deal with them. So I left y'all listening to the lyrical poetry. All right, and I hope that y'all enjoy it. So let's get this John started off the proper way. I appreciate those that are coming back. All right, I appreciate those that came in the beginning. Listen, let me give a shout out to my day one subscribers, to my new subscribers, because if it wasn't for y'all, a Shorty wouldn't have made it this far. This is an open panel, all right? Another episode of Off My Chest and Into the Mic. A Shorty speaks her mind, all right? We've already played some music, some lyrical poetry. Before we get this live started, all right? I want to read at least 3 of these poems, all right? And I'm going to do the same thing when we end the live, all right? Now, listen, I don't have a title for it, but if it hits, right, it hits. It is for you. All right, you can relate to it. It's for you. If you're going through what I'm reading in this poem, it's for you. All right. So I hope that y'all enjoy this live stream, guys. Listen, because we're about to go down a deep dive. All right, we're about to go down a rabbit hole. All right, and we're going to listen to a video that talks about the rise and fall of cocaine. All right, from Coca-Cola ingredients to cartel nightmares. All right, supposed to be history that puts you to sleep, but hey, let's watch it together. All right, let's learn some shit today. All right, blessings. We got Jamaican Shore Fishing in the building. How you doing? All right, I'm just getting this live started. All right, listen, the little tiny humans I created came and kidnapped me. All right, I had to feed them, make them happy. All right, go sit in your corner somewhere. So I'm back over here, man. I appreciate y'all for stopping through, for coming by. All right, but listen, if you could relate to this poem, it's for you. All right, the first poem goes like this. In shadows deep, I once did dwell, trusted too swift, my heart did swell. Blind to truth, I let them in. Now awakened, the game begins. Their mask, their mask now shattered, lies revealed. Deceit and treasury unconcealed. My eyes now clear, no longer blind to certain people once so kind. I haven't changed, just wiser grown. Lessons learned from seeds they've sown. Betrayal stings like a sharpened knife, but in the end, I'll claim my life. So if you can relate to that poem, hey, the ancestors had me write this journal too. All right. Real shit, that's how it be, man. Shout out to Jamaican Shore Fishing, man. Guys, make sure y'all go check him out. Great conversations, great topics. All right, listen, man, I love watching him. All right, he don't just have sit down and have conversations and bring up different topics. All right, you can actually see him. He out there, all right, on his little boat. He be fishing. He be catching all types of. I love watching him. All right. I love watching him go on his adventures and teach me about the different places in Jamaica, all right, the different fish and what he does in his life. So if you haven't checked him out, make sure you do, all right? You won't be disappointed, you won't be bored, and you will get entertained, all right? And you will learn some shit, all right? But hey, back onto the topic. This is the second poem, all right? And it goes like this. In the quiet of my soul, I find my sanctuary. No desire to engage in battles. I choose to be free, walking away from strife, seeking peace in every way, not holding on to grudges, just letting go each day. Some may not understand why I keep my distance, but in the stillness of solitude, I find my resistance to negativity and conflict. That only bring pain. I choose to walk away where peace will always reign. Turning the other cheek, as the good book says, forgiveness in my heart as I walk on ahead. No need for arguments or discord to cloud my mind. I seek serenity and leave all the bitterness behind. In this journey of life, I'll stay true to who I am, walking away from drama with a steady hand. For in the silence and solitude, there's a joy that's deep. I have no desire for conflict. It's peace that I seek. All right, and this is the last poem before we hop in. Before we go down this little how can I say rabbit hole? All right, and dive into some history and learn some new stuff. All right, this poem goes like this. In social networks, all right, connections fade. No ill will held, just paths unmade. No good nor bad indifference shown to those I'd rather be unknown. Interaction stained, energy drained. Prefer to keep distance maintained. No animosity, just a choice made clear to avoid those who bring no cheer. In the realm of relationships lost, boundaries set at a reasonable cost. Neither blessings nor curse sent their way, simply moving on without delay. Not resentful of paths we part, just recognizing it's best to depart. No need for well wishes or spiteful retard. Why did I read that shit and say retard? Retort, my bad. Just a peaceful separation to escorts. All right. I appreciate y'all patience. All right. Listen, man. I don't know why I just stuttered and did all that, but hey, look, man, I appreciate y'all. Listen, maybe one more just to make up for that one. All right. All right. This poem goes like this. Someone asked me my regret. Trusting the wrong, I can't forget. Sweet words, but actions untrue. Loyalty they didn't value like I do. Believed in their empty charms, ignored the signs of harm. Thought they stand by my side, but their loyalty was just a lie. Lessons learned, right, the hard way. Now I watch what they say. Actions speak louder than words. True loyalty is rare, like hummingbirds. No more falling for deceit. Guarding my heart with a beat. Trusting only those who prove that loyalty is real and true. All right. So let's get this podcast started. All right, guys. Listen. Tonight, we're not here, for comfort. We're here for confrontation. We're here to drag the truth, all right, out from under the rug. They've been sweeping it under, for centuries. They told us history was neat, clean, and, respectable. But history, I've said it time after time on this panel, all right, it's messy, bloody, and stolen. And if you came here thinking I was going to whisper, you picked the wrong one. Because this isn't, a lecture, all right? It's a roast, a roast of the lies we were fed. The system that, profit off pain and the silence that keeps us chained. I'm not here to play, polite. I'm here to remind you that awareness isn't soft. It's sharp. All right. It cuts through the, how can I say, propaganda. It slices through the hypocrisy and leaves scars where, how can I say, where they thought we stayed numb. Real shit. All right. We're about to talk legacy, power, in the receipts. They don't want you to see. And I promise you, by the time we're done, you won't be watching a live. You'll be watching, how can I say, a curtain burn down on the stage of their performance. All right, I'm about to put this video up real quick. All right, I appreciate those that came through. Appreciate those showing support. 1 second. There we go. Boom. All right. So this video is called "The Rise and Fall," of cocaine from Coca-Cola ingredients to cartel nightmare history. All right. It's supposed to be a video to put you to sleep and shit. No, man, we're gonna learn about this. All right. In the next video, I want to go into, all right, is whole story of meth, how Hitler's, right, super soldier, how can I say, super soldier drug became America's epidemic. All right. So that's gonna be another video we're gonna dive, into. So let's get this joint started.
No one talks about. In it, a sick, exhausted man sits in a cluttered pharmacy in Atlanta, Georgia. His name Georgia. His name is John Pemberton. He's a Confederate. There's a photograph from 1885 that almost no one talks about. In it, a sick, exhausted man sits in a cluttered pharmacy in Atlanta, Georgia. His name is John Pemberton. He's a Confederate war veteran, wounded in battle, slowly dying from a morphine addiction he can't shake. In his hand, he holds a glass bottle filled with a dark syrup. That syrup contains cocaine. Within 3 years, he'll be dead, never knowing his creation would succeed. But that formula will become the most recognized brand on planet Earth, sold in over 200 countries, generating billions of dollars every year. You know what it's called. But what you probably don't know is this. Pemberton wasn't some outlier. He wasn't a criminal or a drug dealer or even unusual for his time. In 1885, you could walk into any American pharmacy and buy cocaine.
That's crazy. When did the witches exist? Around what era? Let me see something. Around what era did witches exist, according to history, right? The 1400s to the 1750s. All right, so in the 1800s, right, is when they came and they discovered the Coca-Cola, the cocoa, what is it called, the cocoa seed, right? And they figured out, that it had so many miracles to it. It can help people. So, yep. And they took advantage. But my thing is,
the plant on certain parts of the body.
I know that, but my thing is, right? If the women back then did it and they were considered witches, so what were the scientists in the 1800s considered? That's it. I would look at them like warlocks because they stole the fucking ideas from the witches. that they burned down and lynched. Like, what the fuck? Am I tripping right now?
I mean, look at all Fortune 500 companies. You got rich off somebody else out there. Think about it.
But they wasn't even witches. They were healers. If you really look at it, they were just called witches because nobody could explain how they knew, how to heal people with these herbs and shit.
See, if everybody had common sense back then, they would know. It's only trial by error. You know what I mean?
In a way.
They learned through experience.
Oh. That's crazy. But let's continue.
Doctors prescribed it to children for toothaches. It was in wine. It was in tonics. Scientists called it a miracle.
Yo, wait. They gave cocaine.
It was in tonics.
Yes.
To kids.
Yes.
They prescribed it in toothpaste. I know about the Coca-Cola, but in toothpaste.
Yeah, it was different.
They was getting kids high.
Yeah, it was getting them high.
Yo, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's just watch it. Let's watch it. Shut up, Ray. Stay in your place.
Doctors prescribed it to children for toothaches. It was even unusual for his time. In 1885, you could walk into any American pharmacy and buy cocaine. Doctors prescribed it to children for toothaches. It was in wine. It was in tonics. Scientists called it a miracle. Sigmund Freud, yes, that's Sigmund Freud, wrote an entire paper calling cocaine magical and recommended it to everyone he knew. So what happened? How did we go from cocaine and Coca-Cola to the Medellin cartel?
That's crazy. Because according to this guy, cocaine was so magical because it had mofos floating around. They was high, all right? They was elevated. Listen, they was so elevated that, Lord have mercy. I think they reached the sky and met God. I'm telling you. Then they had these little kids high too off of coke. Ain't that some shit? Sorry, no, I'm just playing. Let me stop. Let me finish listening. But that's crazy though. If you don't really know your history, then you will really be messed up in the head seeing this shit. This is this is the second part of us diving down the cocaine history. Oh yeah. I was curious about Griselda Blanco. You forgot? I went on a whole spree with Griselda Blanco. The history that shit took me to. Our ancestors, what they did, miracles with it. Ain't that crazy?
From medical miracle to Pablo Escobar. From something you could buy at a soda fountain to something that sparked a war that's claimed over 350,000 lives in Mexico alone. This is the story of cocaine, but it's not really about a drug. It's about how human beings decide what's medicine and what's evil, how racism shaped our laws, how capitalism built an empire, and how one plant from the Andes Mountains became the center of the most violent criminal enterprise in human history. By the end of this, you're going to understand something most people never do. The war on drugs was never really about drugs at all.
So what was
Let's start 8,000 years ago in the mountains of South America, where this whole thing began. For 8,000 years, indigenous people in the Andes had a secret that the rest of the world didn't know existed. High in the mountains of what we now call Peru, Bolivia, and Colombia, at elevations where the air is so thin that just walking feels like running a marathon.
And it's funny because when people hear cocaine, all right, they always go straight, it's Mexico. You get it from Mexico. And peep how he mentioned 3 different places where cocaine is actually grown.
South America.
Mm-hmm.
Number one place. Then in Brazil.
High in the mountains of what we now call Peru,
Bolivia,
Colombia.
Colombia.
Elevations where the air is so thin that just walking feels like running a marathon. There grew a plant with leaves shaped like small ovals, bright green, completely unremarkable to look at. The Quechua people called it coca. We call it coca. Now imagine living at 13,000 feet above sea level. Your body is constantly working overtime just to get enough oxygen. You're cold most of the time. Farming is brutally difficult because crops barely grow up there. And every single physical task, carrying water, tending animals, building shelter, is exhausting in a way that's hard to describe if you've never experienced altitude sickness. The indigenous peoples of the Andes discovered that if you took these coca leaves, dried them slightly, added a tiny bit of alkaline substance like crushed seashells or lime, and chewed them slowly, letting the mixture sit in your cheek, something remarkable happened. The altitude sickness faded, the exhaustion lifted. Your mind became clear and focused. You could work longer.
Okay, they could work longer and think better, but they were elevated. They was high. So okay, they got altitude sickness and stuff like that. So they found out that chewing on the damn leaf mixed up with a little bit of alkaline, right?
Yeah.
It helped them with the sickness, right? And it helped them work longer. Y'all was getting high.
It wasn't so much as getting high. It was just bringing the body back to its balance.
Oh.
So I'm thinking everything is getting high. Did you hear coke?
No. I didn't say because I heard coke. Is how he's describing it. The way they're so, like, their mind is so, listen, he's basically describing that they felt they was in cloud 9.
The euphoria.
That's basically what he's saying.
The euphoria from it. The effects of it.
That's crazy.
But at the same time, it brought their body down because they were so high up from the altitude. That's why they're certain feet up. You can't breathe what's so good. You need oxygen.
But I wonder why, it works different on these people now, right?
Because of the way they do it as a substance. That's why.
And the gnawing hunger that came from living in such a harsh environment quieted down. But here's what's important to understand. This wasn't about getting high. When you chew coca leaves the traditional way, you're getting an incredibly mild, slow release effect. Think of it like the difference between drinking a cup of coffee and injecting pure caffeine directly into your bloodstream. Same plant compound, completely different experience. The coca leaf was woven into every part of Andean culture. Before making any important decision, people would chew coca and contemplate. During religious ceremonies, it was an offering to Pachamama, Mother Earth. When you met someone for the first time, you'd share coca leaves as a sign of respect and peace. It was medicine, but it was also social glue. It was sacred. The Inca Empire, which rose to power around 1400 AD, initially restricted coca to nobility and priests. It was that important. Imagine if only kings and religious leaders were allowed to drink coffee or tea. That's how significant coca was to their society.
Yo, the ancestors were strong back in the day. And it's crazy how, back then they was able to, and I think it's because of the colonization on some real shit. Like, I'm hoping they break it down here, but I'm peeping that's what's about to come. All right. Because I don't think they use guns, right, in these tribes. But these mofos came with bombs, guns, and all that shit. Like, come on, man. Colonization in reality destroyed a lot of communities. Well, back then, villages.
And for thousands of years, this system worked. The coca plant stayed in the Andes. The knowledge of how to use it stayed with the indigenous people. And the rest of the world had no idea it existed. Then in 1532, everything changed. Spanish conquistadors led by Francisco Pizarro invaded the Inca Empire. They came for gold and silver, and they found it, massive amounts of it, especially in the mountain mines of Potosí, in what's now Bolivia. But there was a problem. The Spanish couldn't work those mines themselves. The altitude was too extreme, so they enslaved the indigenous population and forced them into the tunnels, brutal, dangerous work that killed thousands. And here's where the story takes its first dark turn. The Spanish Catholic Church initially wanted to ban coca completely. They saw it as a pagan ritual, devil worship, something that needed to be stamped out.
Man, look, listen, I know people got religions, and I'm not saying this to offend anybody, all right? People know me, all right? I don't have a religion. I believe in God, nothing more, nothing less, all right? I don't even believe in the Bible. I see it as a guide, all right? Like a puzzle, right? Like, you have to look at it, right, to understand the past. Like, listen, to understand what's going on now, you have to get a better understanding of the past and much more, right? But like I said, I see it as a guide. A lot of people won't understand where I'm coming from. And once again, this is not to bash nobody's religion or bring anybody down. All right. But listen, let me put it like this. All right, let me go back because they were saying something to me over here, and I lost train of thought of what I was saying. Oh, no, never mind. It came back. It's crazy, right? How everything goes back to a Vatican. Everything goes back to these churches, and I'm not churches, and I'm not saying that every pastor is a part of whatever the hell they got going on, whatever cult is going on. But that's how I see it, right? The cults are not always bad, right? Y'all need to go do y'all research. I mean, I suggest heavily for y'all to go do y'all own research, right? This is my perspective, my point of view. Link down there if y'all want to give y'all's, all right? But I'm giving mine for right now, all right? But listen, they watered down our history and have erased so much to the point that it's like, what's real, what's fake, what can you believe in, right? What's cat? Because look how they maintain their villages, right? They maintained it to the point where they kept priests and all them type of people out of their village, right? They didn't want to teach them their secrets and all that, and boom, one way or another, are you like, listen, another time in history where you hear that the Catholic Church or something is involved in stealing something from a tribe, an ancestor. You see where I'm coming from? Like, listen, I want to go a little deeper into it, but you know what? I don't like talking to myself. See where I'm coming from? So let's continue.
AD initially restricted coca to nobility and priests. It was that important. Imagine if only kings and religious leaders were allowed to drink coffee or tea. That's how significant coca was to their society. And for thousands of years, this system worked. The coca plant stayed in the Andes. The knowledge of how to use it stayed with the indigenous people. And the rest of the world had no idea it existed.
Until then.
Then in 1532, everything changed. Spanish conquistadors led by Francisco Pizarro invaded the Inca Empire. They came for gold and silver, and they found it, massive amounts of it, especially in the mountain mines of Potosi, in what's now Bolivia. But there was a problem. The Spanish couldn't work those mines themselves. The altitude was too extreme, so they enslaved the indigenous population and forced them into the tunnels. Brutal, dangerous work that killed thousands.
That's messed up.
And here's where the story takes its first dark turn. The Spanish Catholic Church initially wanted to ban coca completely. They saw it as a pagan ritual, devil worship, something that needed to be stamped out along with all the other indigenous religious practices.
All right, so these were priests and nobles back then. They didn't want the churches, but you know what's crazy? How they claimed everything else to be so demonic and so evil, but yet they wanted to possess the knowledge of it and learn how to use it. So if it was so demonic and so evil, why did they want to claim it so bad as theirs? If they believed that it had to be demolished, and how can I say exiled, why keep the secrets? And why are y'all using it? I'm confused.
Practices they were trying to destroy. But then the mine owners noticed something. Indigenous workers who chewed coca could work longer hours. They complained less about hunger. They didn't collapse from exhaustion as quickly. The productivity of the mines went up when the workers had access to coca leaves. So the Spanish did something that would echo through the centuries. They took a sacred medicine and turned it into a tool of exploitation. Instead of banning coca, they started rationing it. They paid indigenous workers, partially in coca leaves. They controlled the supply. And the church, which had condemned it just years before, suddenly reversed.
Hence, right, they started creating addicts. So I knew I wasn't tripping when I was coming up with the conclusion that I was coming up with earlier, right? He kept talking about how elevated these people, the tribes felt when they used the cocoa leaves and stuff like that, right? And obviously, I was like, well, it kind of reminds me of Mariah Carey and her song. See where I'm coming from? Like, Mm. So was you high? Yeah, they was high. And this right here proved it. All right. They created addicts out of it. They used something that was sacred to them. All right. And turned around and flipped it into something bad for them. Ain't that some shit? But yet they were the evil ones. Hmm.
Course and started collecting taxes on coca production.
The churches, see what I'm saying? So why? Like, listen, if it was so evil, why make money off of it?
Course and started collecting taxes on coca's mines themselves. The altitude was too extreme, so they enslaved the indigenous population and forced them into the tunnels, brutal, dangerous work that killed thousands. And here's where the story takes its first dark turn. The Spanish Catholic Church initially wanted to ban coca completely. They saw it as a pagan ritual, devil worship, something that needed to be stamped out along with all the other indigenous religious practices they were trying to destroy. But then the mine owners noticed something. Indigenous workers who chewed coca could work longer hours. They complained less about hunger. They didn't collapse from exhaustion as quickly. The productivity of the mines went up when the workers had access to coca leaves. So the Spanish did something that would echo through the centuries. They took a sacred medicine and turned it into a tool of exploitation. Instead of banning coca, they started rationing it. They paid indigenous workers, partially in coca leaves. They controlled the supply. And the church, which had condemned it just years before, suddenly reversed course and started collecting taxes on coca production. The Catholic Bishop of Cusco allegedly said that coca was essential because without it, the mines couldn't function. The thing they'd called evil suddenly became acceptable when it made them money. This is the first pattern in our story. Remember it, because you're going to see it repeat. Whoever controls the cocaine makes the rules about whether it's good or evil.
Mm. So basically, it's all about control, huh? Right? Listen, for 8,000 years, indigenous people in the Andes treated cocoa, right? Coca like medicine, like ritual, like life itself, right? It wasn't a drug, it was sacred. It healed, all right, altitude sickness. It gave energy. It connected people to, the land. And then Europeans came along, sniffed it, bottled it, and called it discovery. Sigmund Freud wrote essays about how magical it was. Coca-Cola poured it into their drinks and pharmacies sold it like aspirin. Yo, the same West that glorified Coca turned around and demonetized. All right. It, it, and not because, the science changed, but because the politics did, because racism did, because fear did. They decided indigenous medicine was dangerous, while their own addictions were. Right? Civilized. That's not science. That's supremacy dressed up in a lab coat. Real shit.
For the next 300 years, coca stayed mostly in South America. It was part of the colonial economy, but it hadn't spread to Europe or North America yet. That was about to change. Because in the mid-1800s, European scientists started to get curious about what was in these leaves that made them so special. And when they finally isolated the answer, when they figured out the specific molecule responsible for coca's effects, they didn't just find a medicine. They found something that would change the world.
What they find?
The year is 1850. A young Italian doctor named Paolo Mantegazza is traveling through South America, and he's fascinated by what he's seeing. Everywhere he goes in Peru and Bolivia, people are chewing these coca leaves. Old people, young people, workers, everyone.
Another scientist that stole an idea.
And they're not acting like what he'd expect from people using what Europeans would call a drug. They're focused, they're working, they're having normal conversations. Mantegazza is a scientist, so he does what any curious researcher would do. He tries it himself. He starts chewing coca leaves the traditional way, and he's amazed. He feels energized but not jittery, focused but not manic. He describes it as the most wonderful sensation he's ever experienced. But Mantegazza doesn't stop there.
What was they using before they came on? You know, before they allegedly discovered cocoa. What did they come across? I mean, what was they using as medicine? Meth or something? What came first? Meth or coke? I'm gonna look that up.
He brings coca leaves back to Italy and starts experimenting. He tries different doses, different preparations. He writes a paper, almost poetic in its enthusiasm, where he describes coca as capable of producing the most gorgeous excitement and claims it could cure everything from depression to digestive problems. His writings are passed around European medical circles. And suddenly, coca becomes the fashionable new thing that exotic travelers are bringing back from South America. But the real breakthrough comes in 1859. A German chemist, he's managed to get his hands on some
This is
coca,
crazy, man.
and he's
We
trying
got a Spaniard scientist, a German scientist, all these people trying to get, access to this coca leaf so they could turn it into what they want to turn it. Yo, listen. But you know what's crazy? Right? Like Maya Angelou says, once you know better, you do better. Okay, so why is it that we know better in 2025, right? We're about to hit 2026, and yet so many choose not to do better. They keep trying to repeat, all right, the chains. How can I say? Yeah, they keep trying to, how can I say it? Keep adding shackles, all right, to the chains instead of being who they're truly meant to be in society.
do something no one has successfully done before. Isolate the exact chemical compound that makes coca work. The process is painstaking. He grinds up the leaves, treats them with acid, then with alkali, filters the mixture again and again, until finally, after weeks of work, he's left with white, needle-like crystals. He touches a tiny amount to his tongue, and immediately his tongue goes numb. What Niemann has just created is cocaine hydrochloride,
Wow.
pure cocaine, and it's roughly 200 times more concentrated than chewing coca leaves.
Oh, so this is a motherfucker that invented cocaine. This selfish mother, right? Ooh, am I cussing? This selfish mofo right here was the one that invented cocaine. It's somewhere along in the 1900s, right? I think what the 80s, the 70s. When was it that the war of cocaine started? It got the 80s, right? Yeah. See, thank you. I appreciate the help. The war on drugs. There you go. The war, the drug epidemic. So this is the reason why we got addicts today. This mofo right here. Jesus, Europe, Germany, they all wanted the ingredients so they can make a drug that would have motherfuckers hooked. Control.
Think about that concentration for a second. It's like the difference between eating a poppy seed bagel and taking a hit of heroin. Same source plant, but the extraction and concentration process creates something entirely different. Niemann publishes his findings in 1860. He describes the exact process for extracting cocaine. He notes its properties: white, crystalline, bitter taste, numbing effect. And then mysteriously, he dies. He's only 26 years old.
A freaking cocaine overdose, right? No, what is it? Man, abusing. He was abusing this shit, man. There's nothing you could tell me, all right, that's going to convince me that he was not abusing that shit. His organs failed.
The official cause is listed as lung problems, but some historians wonder if he might have been experimenting with his own creation a bit too enthusiastically. We'll never know for sure, but the cat is out of the bag now. Niemann's paper spreads through the scientific community. Other chemists start refining the process, and pharmaceutical companies see an opportunity. This is where Angelo Mariani enters the picture. Mariani was a Corsican chemist and entrepreneur, and he understood something that many scientists didn't. It doesn't matter how good your product is if you can't market it properly. In 1863, Mariani creates Vin Mariani, a mixture of Bordeaux wine and coca extract.
Get the fuck out of here. So they had cocaine and wine too?
Not pure cocaine like Neiman made, but a more palatable, drinkable form that delivers a mild cocaine effect along.
Man, get out of here, man. Listen. Y'all ain't gonna sit. Y'all try to bring that shit back when y'all bought the Ford locos, all right, in the late 2000s. Stop playing, yo. Y'all funny as shit trying to repeat history.
With the alcohol. And then Mariani does something brilliant. He starts
What was
collecting
so brilliant?
celebrity endorsements.
Oh, this motherfucker was from the church too? Man, everything goes back to the goddamn Vatican.
He sends free bottles to famous people, writers, politicians, inventors, royalty, and they love it.
Oh, so this was the mofo that started getting, celebrities and politicians addicted to drugs and alcohol. Okay, let's continue.
Thomas Edison endorsed it. Pope Leo XIII reportedly carried a flask of it and gave Mariani a Vatican gold medal. Queen Victoria of England was supposedly a fan. The poet Robert Louis Stevenson, the actress Sarah Bernhardt, President William McKinley.
The queen back in the day loved her coked up wine. She was elevated, just like Mariah Carey.
The testimonials pile up. Mariani plasters advertisements everywhere with these endorsements. The marketing message is clear. This is what successful, intelligent, sophisticated people drink. This isn't some street drug. This is medicine for the elite, and it works.
So remember, cocaine was not meant to be put on the streets. All right, it was meant for the rich people. But somehow, some way, all right, I guess they thought they could make some money, and they did. They did. Whoever came up with the idea of putting it in the streets, all right, which politician, all right, which person in history did it, we're going to find out. Whether it's today or in part 3, because mind y'all, all right, this is our, dive down the rabbit hole, learning about the history of cocaine, and this is part 2, all right. We reviewed and reacted to another video months ago, all right, which them little videos will be uploaded soon too, all right. I got to get on my editing. I got to start out some videos.
Vin Mariani becomes wildly successful across Eureka. It's sold in pharmacies, but also in social clubs and upscale restaurants. Drinking coca wine becomes fashionable. Other companies rush to copy the formula. Dozens of coca wines flood the market. Coca-based tonics, elixirs, and medicines appear in pharmacy catalogs. You can order them through the mail. Meanwhile, pure cocaine is also becoming more available. The pharmaceutical company Merck in Germany starts manufacturing it in larger quantities. Park Davis in the United States begins producing it. And doctors start prescribing it for everything. Feeling tired, cocaine, depressed, cocaine, hay fever, cocaine, toothache, cocaine drops. It's marketed as a cure for morphine and alcohol addiction, which is darkly ironic given what's about to happen.
Wow.
By the 1880s...
Hold on, wait a minute. Cocaine was marketed as a cure for alcohol addiction? So wait a minute. Y'all was giving people a drug to get them off, and basically is one drug getting another. Oh my God. So y'all was hooking them on a drug to get them off of a drug. So y'all was, I'm gonna put it like this. Y'all was giving them, I said that all messed up, all right, so I'm gonna rephrase it. Y'all was giving them drugs, all right, to get them to get off of an addiction. So in the 1880s, cocaine was everywhere in medicine. All right. So let's be clear. All right. The war on drugs was never about drugs. It was about control. It was about turning medicine into menace, turning communities into targets, turning prisons into profit. They didn't care about health. They cared about headlines. They didn't care about science. They cared about scapegoats. And the receipts are clear. $1 trillion later. The so-called war didn't end cocaine. It ended lives.
Cocaine is everywhere in medicine. And because it genuinely does work for certain things, particularly as a local anesthetic, many doctors believe they found a miracle drug. But no one embodied this optimism more than one particular Austrian doctor who was about to make cocaine famous in a whole new way. His name was Sigmund Freud. In 1884, a young, ambitious neurologist in Vienna was desperate to make a name for himself. Sigmund Freud was 28 years old, deeply in debt, and eager to marry his fiancée, Martha Bernays. But he couldn't afford to get married until he established his reputation and earned more money. He needed a breakthrough, some discovery that would make the medical world take notice. Then he read about cocaine. Freud got his hands on some of the pure cocaine hydrochloride that pharmaceutical companies were now producing. And like Mantegazza before him, he tried it himself. The effect was immediate and powerful. He felt energized. His depression, which he'd struggled with for years, lifted. His productivity soared. He stayed up late into the night, writing, thinking clearly, feeling like the best version of himself.
So cocaine makes certain people think clearly. I've seen people last, I've seen some people hit the line so they can last drinking, but I also seen them lose their fucking mind. I've seen people lose, their jobs because they couldn't keep up with that addiction. That's a fucking costly addiction. Mommy, I guess to which his own.
He was convinced he'd found something revolutionary. In July 1884, Freud published a paper called Über Coca, about coca. Reading it now is fascinating because you can feel his genuine enthusiasm and optimism radiating from every page. He reviewed all the existing literature on coca and cocaine. He described his own experiments, and he made bold claims. Cocaine could treat depression, digestive disorders, morphine addiction, alcoholism, asthma, and even sexual impotence.
What? OMG. So if a man couldn't get it up, cocaine was perfect for it. You've got to be kidding me, yo. I mean, I know that, during the war and stuff, they used it for the numbing of the pain and all that. We went down that rabbit hole in part 1. We went down, the beneficial, the benefits it gave the people in the army, the Navy, during war and all that shit, right? So I know about that, but it was used as a sex drive type thing. Damn.
He called it a magical drug and a divine plant. Freud was so confident that he started giving cocaine to his friends, his colleagues, and his family members.
Shit.
He sent cocaine to Martha in the mail as a gift. He took it regularly himself, and then he gave it to his close friend, Ernst von Fleischl-Marxow. Fleischl was a brilliant scientist, but he was suffering. Years earlier, he'd contracted a terrible infection during an autopsy and had to have his thumb amputated. The phantom pain was excruciating, and he'd become addicted to morphine trying to manage it.
So they gave him cocaine to get him off the morphine. Ain't this some shit?
Excruciating, and he'd become addicted to morphine trying to manage it. Freud thought cocaine could cure Fleischl's morphine addiction. After all, that was one of the miracle uses everyone was talking about. So he gave his friend cocaine in increasingly large doses to help him quit morphine. At first, it seemed to work. Fleischl was able to reduce his morphine use. His mood improved. He seemed to be getting better. But within a few months, something horrible was happening. Fleischl wasn't just using the cocaine Freud gave him. He was buying more, a lot more. He was consuming enormous amounts, a full gram of cocaine per day, which is a massive dose by any standard. He started experiencing paranoid delusions. He would hallucinate, seeing insects crawling on his skin. He would stay awake for days at a time. His physical health deteriorated rapidly. Freud was horrified. He watched his friend descend into what we would now recognize as severe cocaine addiction and psychosis. Fleischl would suffer for years before finally dying in 1891, his body and mind destroyed. This experience shook Freud deeply. He quietly backed away from his earlier enthusiasm about cocaine. He stopped prescribing it. He stopped taking it himself. And he definitely stopped talking it publicly. Episode, the only serious error of his scientific career. But the damage was done, not to Freud's reputation, which would recover and flourish, but to his friend, and to the thousands of other people who followed his recommendations. Because while Freud was quietly retreating from cocaine, his paper, Über Coca, was still circulating. Other doctors were still reading it. Pharmaceutical companies were still marketing cocaine as safe and non-addictive. And something else happened in 1884 that would...
I'm going to put it right there, all right? Because I got to do something for my kids, all right? But listen, we're going to pick up on this later on. Make sure y'all subbed up, all right? But listen. They weren't healers, all right? They were hype men for their own experiments. Doctors and scientists back then weren't thinking about public health, all right? They were chasing clout, chasing discoveries, and using their own bodies like test tubes just to prove a point. All right? They replaced one addiction with another, like swapping chains and calling it freedom. All right? Morphine had people hooked, so they said, "Here, try cocaine." All right? It's cleaner, it's modern, it's progress. Progress. That's not progress. All right? That's a bait. All right, that's a bait and switch dressed up in a lab coat. All right, they didn't care about the fallout. All right, they cared about being the first to publish, the first to patient, and the first to profit. And the wildest part, they tested it on themselves, bragged about the rush, wrote papers about how magical it felt, and then acted shocked when the world spiraled into addiction. That's not science. That's indulgence. All right, masquerading as medicine. They weren't protecting people. They were proving their own egos. All right. This is the kind of hypocrisy you can, drag. The so-called experts who claimed authority while fueling the very crisis they later condemned it. All right. It's the perfect setup for, it's the perfect setup to sit here and bring down communities, taking control. All right. It's the perfect setup for you to riff off on how systems glorify harm until it's no longer profitable. Then they demonetize it into, to control the same communities they exploited. Real shit. Listen. Shit. I don't know if y'all was able to hear me, but I hope so. But listen. Within decades, cocaine went from pharmacy shelves to Pablo Escobar's empire worth 30 million. All right, 30 billion. My bad. Let me correct that. And instead of asking how colonial greed created the pipelines, the U.S. launched a war on drugs. A war that spent 1 million. All right, 1 trillion. All right, locked up. All right, they locked up millions of black and brown people. All right. They, how can I say, militarized police. All right, destabilized, all right, countries, and still failed so bad that cocaine production today is higher than ever. That's not a war. All right, that's a hustle that's criminalized. All right, that's criminalized the poor while protecting the powerful. All right, so let's be real. All right, the war on drugs was never about drugs. It was about control. It was about turning medicine into menace, turning communities into targets, turning prisons into profit. They didn't care about the health. They didn't care about the headlines. All right, that's all they cared about. Headlines. They didn't care about the science. They cared about scapegoats. And the receipts are clear. All right, clear as day. $1 trillion later, all right, the so-called war didn't end cocaine. It ended lives. All right. Don't let them rewrite the story. Cocoa, all right, was sacred before colonizers touched it. It's crazy how our ancestors knew how to use it to heal. Cocoa was medicine before corporations, all right, commodified it. Cocoa was culture before politicians weaponized it. All right. The demonization of cocaine isn't about chemistry, it's about racism. All right. Politics and fear. If you want proof, look at the numbers. Production is higher than ever. Prisons are fuller than ever. And the same people who profited of cocoa in the beginning are still profiting now. All right. They stole medicine, they sold it as magic. All right. They demonetized it as, how can I say, menace, and they weaponized it as war. And the only thing they truly discovered was how to turn oppression into policy. All right. We need to respect the truth and honor the legacy. Stop pretending the war on drugs was about, saving lives. It was about controlling them. That's what it was really about. Yeah, I guess. But anyways, all right, we're gonna do a part 3 to this, John. All right, make sure y'all subbed up, and I will see y'all later on tonight. All right, let me give a big shout out to all those that came through. All right, and rocked out with a shorty. All right, because y'all didn't have to be here. Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all sat here and y'all rocked out with a shorty. So I really appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna see y'all on my next live, and we out.